Welcome, welcome, welcome. I kindly request that we all be upstanding. Let us be all upstanding for the Kenya National Anthem and the East African Community Anthem. It is a remarkable prayer. Both of them are prayers. And after the prayer, we get to work. We get to work. And thank you so much for coming. We celebrate every one of you.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Na kutufungulia kwa maombi na muomba Sheikh Salim aje aombe nasi. Karibu Sheikh.
Natuombe. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. O Allah, Lord of heavens and earth, we praise you and thank you for granting us this opportunity to gather. We ask you to open this gathering with goodness and blessings and to bring it to a close with goodness and blessings. Unite our hearts upon truth, wisdom, justice, and mutual respect, and guide every discussion and decision toward what benefits our nation and its people. O Allah, grant wisdom, integrity, sincerity, and sound judgment to the leadership of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties and to all stakeholders present today. Bless the strategic plan 2025-2028 being launched today and make it a means of strengthening democracy, promoting peaceful coexistence and accountability, transparency, inclusivity, and national unity. O Allah, keep our beloved Kenya secure, peaceful, and prosperous. Protect us from division, hatred, corruption, injustice, and every form of harm. Inspire us to work together for the common good and to uphold justice and rule of law in all our affairs. Wa sallallahu wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amin.
You may kindly take your seats. As we kick off, deepening governance and inclusion. A little story. A little boy is going to school. There's traffic jam. Everybody's waiting for something to be done. Maybe the police and all that. Before we play that video, we'll come back to it. A little story. Eyes on the screen. Let's have the screen. This is a little boy. Your Excellency, Ambassador, welcome. Eyes on the screen. So everybody's waiting. There was a tree trunk that blocked the road. Everyone is waiting for the government, for the police to do something. So they're waiting, stuck in traffic jam. But consider this little boy. They were supposed to remove it, but you see it started raining, so let's wait for the rains to stop. But the little boy decides to go do something. You know this story. He walks up to the tree trunk. You and I know he can't do it, but he's doing something to the hearts and minds of the people. So they start to see, if a little boy can do this, wait. The little boys begin to come. They come together. They realize we can't wait for somebody else to do this for us. We are here. We'll have to do it. We have to deepen governance. But it will take inclusion. Everyone, even those in their cars, they have to get out of their cars and come and help. And little by little, strength is built. Strength is built. Little by little, and boom! What were they waiting for? They were all waiting for themselves to make a better Kenya. Distinguished guests, that's why we're here. This strategic plan, critical to the betterment of our beloved motherland. So you're not a spectator, you're not a backbencher, you are what we've all been waiting for. So welcome, welcome. Big round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. We'll play another video shortly, but before that, of course, to give us the opening remarks. Please welcome.
She is the Assistant Registrar in charge of Registration and Field Services Coordination at the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. She provides strategic leadership in the registration and regulation of political parties, coordinates regional field operations, and oversees stakeholder engagement to promote compliance with the Political Parties Act and strengthen democratic governance across Kenya. Please welcome CPA Florence Biria.
Big round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Hamjambo. Are we happy in the room? Are we happy online? Are we happy today? Thank you very much. To our chief guest, who we are awaiting to arrive, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, to the Registrar of Political Parties, the invited guests who may be here and some on the way. I start with the Chairman of IEBC, honorable members of Parliament, both in Senate and in the National Assembly, members of the diplomatic community and development partners, representatives from the national government and county government, and government institutions, constitutional commissions, representatives from the civil society organization, faith-based organizations, private sector, special interest groups, the women, the youth, the PWDs, the marginalized groups, the management of ORPP, the staff of ORPP, distinguished guests, the members of the Fourth Estate present, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo tena. Hamjambo. Today is a happy day, and so I'm very happy. My name is CPA Florence Biria, as already introduced. I'm an assistant registrar at the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. And today I am really delighted to be here. And I recognize and acknowledge everyone who is joining us today, whether physically in the room or online through the technological platforms. It is my distinct honor on behalf of the Registrar of Political Parties, thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity, and the entire Office of the Registrar of Political Parties to warmly welcome each one of you to this grand occasion. We are here today to launch the third ORPP strategic plan for the period 2025-2028. Makofi kwao tafadhali. So to our chief guest, even as she prepares to arrive here, I want to say a big thank you for finding time, for agreeing, for accepting our invitation to be present in this function and to grace this launch today. Indeed, the presence of the chief guest and all invited guests who have responded to the call is very much appreciated, because we know that we are very busy in our private and even in our official spaces. But we have made a sacrifice. We have created time to make ourselves available so that you can join us as the family of RPP as we engage in this function today. I want to say thank you very much, even specifically to these representatives from Parliament, from government. We appreciate that indeed for this office to have made the progress that we have seen to date. We have received enabling power in various ways for us to have reached this far. Thank you very much for supporting us to be able to undertake our constitutional mandate of registration and regulation of political parties, to administer the political parties fund, and to continue strengthening the political land space in Kenya. I want to say a big thank you even to the representatives of the diplomatic community and also the development partners that are here today. You have continued to support this office. Your invaluable partnership over the years. We've worked with you for many years to continue strengthening political parties, the governance and the social capacity of the political parties and ORPP, the inclusion and diversity dynamics in the democratic participation. We really appreciate and to say thank you. I want also to extend a big warm thank you and welcome to the political parties. We call them our number one customers, our number one clients. Thank you. We welcome you. We recognize you. And in a special way, I want to recognize the chairman of the PPLC Steering Committee, Mr. Evans Misati, the officials of political parties, and members of political parties in their respective capacities. We say thank you and welcome to this event. We appreciate political parties as an office in a special way and continue to commend you for your unwavering commitment in providing a platform through which Kenyans exercise their democratic rights. Political parties remain the cornerstone of our democratic multi-party democracy in Kenya. We talk of multi-party democracy because of the many political parties that we have. And today we are happy to note that as the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, so far we have fully registered 97 political parties. Thank you, political parties, for giving us that space as Kenyans. To the many stakeholders that have joined us today in this room and beyond, I say thank you for finding time. Thank you for your continued collaboration throughout the implementation of our previous strategic plans. As I noted, this is our third strategic plan. Our first strategic plan ran from 2015 to 2020. Our second strategic plan ran from 2020 to 2025. And the current strategic plan that we are launching today covers the period 2025 to 2028. We share the pride of the achievements that we celebrate today with all the stakeholders present, because it is the product of many years of our shared commitment and partnership. As the African proverb states, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. We move together. Thank you. Distinguished guests, today's launch marks an important milestone in the growth of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. This strategic plan provides a roadmap that will guide the work of the office for the next 3 years, especially as we prepare for the 2027 general election as a nation. This strategic plan aligns our priorities with national development goals, incorporates emerging dynamics in the political landscape, seeks to enhance service delivery through innovation while strengthening accountability, stakeholder engagement, and prudent use of scarce public resources. I wish to confirm that this plan is a product of an elaborate process characterized by extensive consultations that involve the ORPP staff, political parties, government institutions, constitutional commissions, development partners, civil society organizations, the youth, the women, the PWDs, and many other stakeholders. We remain grateful for your inevitable and invaluable contributions throughout the entire process. And indeed, such is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it alone. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look forward to the next year's general election, we all have a shared responsibility to promote political tolerance, peaceful dialogue, respect for the rule of law, and issue-based politics in our country. I therefore call upon every stakeholder to actively support the implementation of the strategic plan that we are just about to launch and make it achieve exactly this aspiration. And finally, let's all remember that when it rains, it does not only fall on any particular individual's roof or space. The responsibility, therefore, of protecting our democracy belongs to each one of us, either as institutions or as individuals. Let's choose peace over conflict. Let's choose dialogue over division. Let's choose national unity over individual interests, so that together we deliver credible, peaceful, and inclusive elections that are very paramount to the democracy that we seek. As we launch this third strategic plan, it is therefore my prayer that it will inspire action, strengthen our institutions, and contribute to a peaceful, prosperous, and democratic Kenya. Remember, planning is very key, and therefore, failing to plan is planning to fail. I encourage you to participate actively in political parties, become champions of democratic transformation. This is a call to all of us, and in particular, I'm calling upon our young people. Once again, I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation, and I wish all of us an enjoyable and an eventful day. I say karibuni sana, let's sit back, enjoy, and have a blessed day. Thank you, karibuni sana, and God bless you.
CPA Florence Peria. We all have a responsibility to protect our democracy, and it's important to start here from where you're seated. Mr. James, representing Trademark Africa, is going to assure you of your security. A big round of applause for Mr. James. James, 2 minutes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is James Ngoru, security in charge, Tribe Collection. So, first and foremost is to welcome you at Trademark Hotel and to assure you that your safety is our priority. I want to assure you that you are in a safe environment. Your meeting is located at second floor meeting rooms, that is the ballroom. And in case of any query, any emergency, We have our trained personnel, our staff are outside their doors. You can just reach out to them. So I want to assure you that we don't have any planned fire drill, and in case of any alarm sound goes off, you'll be able to be addressed by our addressable the public address system from our control room. Our control room consists of 3 personnel on the shift, manning everyone who is on the complex. That is the village market, the tribe hotel, and the Trademark hotel. So just be assured that your safety is our priority. And in case of any emergency, we have our designated escape routes. That is the emergency routes, well illuminated. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. And also behind this wall, we have our designated emergency exit points. And upon reaching, that is the ground floor, level 0, you'll find our personnel on the ground, our trained first aiders, our trained fire marshals, who are going to accord you the necessary support. In case of any emergency, we have a hotel doctor who is on call. You can just reach out to us. So let me assure you that, once again, you are in a safe environment. In case of any emergency, any suspicious activity, just reach out to our office, which is 24/7. We have our hotline, 0722 112 112, 0722 112 112, 0721 943 556, 0721 943 556. Your safety matters a lot to us. In as much as we are taking care of your lives and properties, security starts with you. Take care of your properties, take care of your items, and in case of anything, just don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, thank you so much. Enjoy your stay with us today. Thank you so much.
Mr. James, thank you so much for that assurance. And now we also need to assure you as to why you are here. Why are you here? Let's find out a bit.
Institution is guided by a clear vision, a shared purpose, and a strategic roadmap that shapes its future. For the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, strategic planning remains the cornerstone of delivering on its constitutional mandate and strengthening Kenya's democratic governance. Building on the achievements and lessons of the 2020-2025 strategic plan, unveiled on 10th of November 2021, the office embarked on the development of a new roadmap to guide the institution through the next chapter of its growth. The journey towards the ORPP strategic plan in shaping the future of political party regulation, and governance in Kenya. This inclusive approach reflects ORPP's enduring commitment to collaboration, ownership, and participatory decision-making in defining its strategic direction. Today marks the culmination of this journey as the office officially launches the ORPP Strategic Plan 2025-2028, a roadmap that will guide the institution in delivering on its mandate and responding to the evolving needs of Kenya's multi-party democracy. As the office launches this strategic plan, it reaffirms its commitment to institutional excellence, accountability, and continuous improvement in service delivery. Together, guided by this shared vision, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is ready to shape the future, delivering excellence, fostering trust, and advancing democratic governance for all Kenyans. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, ORPP, strengthening political parties. Every successful institution is guided by a clear
Now to
vision.
give us an overview of that strategic plan, please welcome.
She is the Assistant Registrar in charge of Finance, Political Parties Fund and Strategy at the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. She provides strategic leadership in financial management, administration of the Political Parties Fund, institutional planning and performance management, ensuring prudent resource utilization and the effective implementation of ORPP's strategic priorities. Please welcome CPA CS Agatha Wahome.
our chief guests, our esteemed guests and stakeholders present, our political parties and representatives from all the political parties, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I welcome you to this official launch of the Strategic Plan 2025-2028. This is a 3-year plan that is a roadmap designed to strategically position ORPP to navigate, adapt, and respond decisively to dynamic political developments in the life of this strategic plan. So I call upon you to work with me as we look at how exactly we are going to undertake this. So the ORPP mandate is to register political parties, regulate, ensure compliance, and also administer the funding of the political parties fund. Just a minute. So as I introduce this strategic plan, let me say that the implementation of this plan came after the previous strategic plan period came to an end at the end of the financial year 2024-2025, and the office developed this plan in order to guide the strategies, activities, and budgets for the next planning cycle. And this plan was also developed with reference to the performance contracting guidelines. The plan is divided into 8 chapters covering 8 different areas, and it's also based on the African Union Agenda 2063, the East African Community Vision 2050, the Constitution of Kenya, where there are various articles that directly align with the mandate of the ORPP, the Kenya Vision 2030, the Bottom-up Economic Transformation Agenda, and the 4th Term Medium Plan, as well as the various sector laws and regulations. The chapter also outlines the history of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, and it also outlines the methodology of developing this strategic plan. Going into Chapter 2, Chapter 2 details the ORPP strategic direction. It outlines the mandate and functions of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. It defines the vision, mission, and the core values of the office. It presents the strategic goals, and it also details the quality policy statement. Under Chapter 3, we have the situational and stakeholder analysis, and this is an assessment of the internal and external environment within which the office operates in. And this analysis enables the office to identify and understand its strengths, its weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and thereby inform the strategic decision making. The analysis covers 4 areas. The first is the external environment, which includes the dynamic political environment that the office operates in, the legal environment, social, economic, physical, and technological environment that influence the mandate of the ORPP, as well as the service delivery. It also has an analysis of the internal environment, which includes governance and administrative structures, internal business processes, financial resources, human resource capacity, organization culture, and brand image for improved efficiency and service delivery. The analysis also covers stakeholder analysis, which outlines the role of stakeholders to ORPP, the expectations or interests that the stakeholders have from ORPP, and also covers the areas of convergence with the ORPP mandate between the ORPP and the stakeholders. The chapter also has the 4th analysis, which is analysis of the previous ORPP performance, and this highlights the previous achievements, challenges, lessons learned, And some of the achievements that have been highlighted include enactment of the Political Parties Amendment Act of 2022. It also includes establishment and operationalization of 5 additional regional offices, upgrading of the Integrated Political Parties Management Information System, the launch of the ORPP services on eCitizen platform, developing and reviewing various policy documents, manuals and guidelines, as well as increased participation by political parties in electoral processes, where we saw the a shift or an increase from 60% in 2017 to about 89% in 2022. Some of the challenges also that have been highlighted in the previous period includes inadequate staffing levels, where the office has been operating at below the staff optimal levels, inadequate funding due to the shrinking physical space, limited ORPP presence at the county level, enactment of electoral laws very close to the general election, which poses a challenge in planning and implementation, as well as political narratives that negate ORPP's efforts towards institutionalizing and sustainable political parties. Under Chapter 4, this chapter outlines the strategic issues, goals, and objectives. The 2025-2028 strategic plan, which we are about to launch, has got 6 key result areas. The first one being the registration of political parties, and the strategic issue that has been identified there is streamline the political parties registration processes, and the goal is to enhance efficiency in the registration processes. The next KRA is regulation of political parties, where 2 strategic issues have been identified. One is to improve compliance with policy and legal frameworks by political parties, and the strategic goal is to improve compliance with policy and legal framework by political parties. And the second issue is inadequate participation of the special interest groups in political processes, where the goal is to have increased participation of the special interest groups in political processes. The third key result area is participation of political parties in elections. The strategic issue identified there is institutionalization of political parties, and the goal is to have political parties institutionalized. The fourth key result area is digital transformation and data management, where digitization of processes has been identified as a strategic issue, with a strategic goal towards enhanced engagement with partners and stakeholders. Improved operational efficiency and service delivery. The fifth key result area is partnership and stakeholder engagement, where the strategic issue has been identified is enhanced engagement with partners and stakeholders, and the goal is to enhance this engagement. And the key result area, number 6, is institutional governance and capacity, where ORPP institutional capacity strengthening has been identified as a strategic issue with a goal to enhance productivity and performance. Going into Chapter 5, Chapter 5 presents the key strategic objectives and strategies. And I'll take you through each key result area briefly. And the key result area on registration of political parties, the strategic objective is to enhance effective and efficient registration of political parties by 2023. And the strategy is to employ multifaceted approach in the registration process improvement through capacity building, stakeholder engagement, legal reform, and technological integration. On the second key area of regulation of political parties, we have various strategic issues, and each is accompanied with various strategies. The first is to strengthen the legal and regulatory framework, and the strategy is to review Political Parties Act and review or develop subsidiary legislation. The other objective is to enhance compliance with the Political Parties Act and the strategy is to monitor the implementation of the PPA. The other objective is to strengthen political parties' funding accountability, and the strategy is to enhance compliance with the Act and funding regulations. The fourth is to institutionalize political parties, and the strategy is to strengthen capacity of the political parties to ensure compliance with the Political Parties Act. And the fifth is to enhance political education participation of special interest groups in political processes, and the strategy is to enhance special interest group participation in party structures and political processes. On the KRA, the key result area on political parties participation in education, the strategic objective is to prepare political parties to participate in elections, and the strategies are two. One is to enhance political participation in elections, and secondly is to monitor political party activities in relation to party nominations. On the key result area of digital transformation and data management, there are three strategic objectives. One is to achieve 100% digitization of services by 2028, and the strategy is to automate political parties' management business processes. The second objective is to ensure compliance with Data Protection Act by 2028, and the strategies to be employed include improve records management, digitize capacity building, maintain accurate records of Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, the political parties themselves, and the general public records. And the fourth is to enhance privacy and security of data subjects. The third objective is to enhance execution of office mandates through the use of AI and big data analytics by 2028, and the strategy is actually to deploy AI and big data analytics in ORPP's processes. On the key result area of partnership and stakeholder engagement, the strategic objective is to strengthen inclusive partnership and stakeholder engagement for enhanced public participation, advocacy, and democratic governance. And two strategies will be employed to achieve that objective. One is to establish and strengthen mutually beneficial partnerships with key stakeholders, and secondly is to enhance resource mobilization. The other objective is to enhance public outreach and advocacy, and the strategy is to strengthen communication and advocacy programs to increase public awareness and participation, and also to enhance citizenry understanding of their constitutional political rights. The third objective is to strengthen the PPLC, that is, yes, I'll come back to that. And the strategy is to ensure that the capacity and the coordination of the political parties liaison committee to promote effective and political party engagement. The other key result area is institutional governance and capacity, and I will take you through the objectives and the strategies for that. Under this key result area, the first strategic objective is to improve financial transparency and accountability, and the strategy is to strengthen prudent financial management. The other objective is to improve budget allocation and utilization of resources, and the strategies to be employed is to strengthen resource bidding in the MTF processes, also to strengthen accountability and internal control measures, as well as strengthened administration of the political parties fund. The other objective is to streamline supply chain, inventory control, and asset disposal processes, and the strategy is to streamline these particular processes. And the other objective is to institutionalize research and knowledge management, and the strategy is to promote and mainstream research practices, mainstream knowledge management, as well as promote continuous learning. The other objective is to strengthen risk and governance processes through institutionalization of risk management in all ORPP operations. And the other strategic objective is to enhance human resource capacity. The strategies to be employed here include improve human resource development, improve succession management, institutionalize high-performing organization culture, strengthen performance management, and improve employee wellness. The other strategic objective under this KRA is to enhance brand visibility and reputation, and the strategies to be employed include revamp communication platforms, strengthen communication practice, mainstream corporate branding and customer experience, optimize IEC production responsiveness, enhance media relations, enhance advertising and publicity, as well as implement corporate social investment initiatives. And the other objective is to decentralize the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties through decentralization of services across more counties. And the final one is to strengthen administrative frameworks. Going into Chapter 6, this presents the implementation and the coordination framework, and it covers various items. The first item is the action plan, which is the detailed roadmap that breaks the goals into daily tasks. The second is the annual work plan and budget, which is drawn from the action plan. The third is the performance contracting. And the fourth is the coordination framework, and this presents the technical resources that are required to implement the strategic plan, including institutional framework, staff establishment, matter skill sets, competence development, leadership, systems and procedures that are required to optimally implement this plan. It also has the institutional framework, which details the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties structures, the reporting lines, the functions, specialization, accountability mechanisms, and all matched with the policy formulation and oversight, key resort areas, program execution, and matters governance. And this chapter also has the risk management framework, and this presents an assessment of the strategic risks that are likely to hinder the implementation of this strategic plan. Under Chapter 7, this has the resource requirements for implementation of this strategic plan, and it also presents the financial resource gaps. And as you can see from those boxes there, the implementation of this strategic plan will require about 6.7 billion. The current envelope that is available from the MTEF processes, you can go back one slide. The current envelope is about 1.9 billion, and this presents a shortfall of about 4.8 billion. But the strategic plan also goes ahead and looks at the financial resource mobilization strategies that are required to close in on that gap, as well as the measures to be employed to ensure that there is prudent management of financial resources. The last chapter is Chapter 8, and this has the monitoring and evaluation reporting. It has the monitoring framework. It has the performance standards and evaluation framework. It has the reporting framework, and it has the feedback mechanism to ensure that the implementation is on course. In addition, it also provides for an end-term review of this strategic plan when we come to the end of the period. And this will be basically to take stock of the achievements, the challenges that would have been faced, and the lessons that will have been learned. And that will be important in terms of informing the next planning cycle. And therefore, as I come to close, allow me to remind us that a vibrant multi-party democracy is not built by the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties alone. The strategic plan is our commitment to provide the tools, systems, and the oversight that is necessary to protect every citizen's political rights. And with your partnership, all of you gathered here, we will see a more improved political landscape by 2028. Let us move from strategy to execution together. I thank you very much for listening to me, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we make this vision a reality. Asante.
Thank you so much for that. And just before we continue on, because I'm well informed that our chief guest is already here, the Honorable Attorney General, together with the IEBC Chairman, so we'll just wait for them to come in and we continue on. But in the meantime, what did you pick from the strategic plan? What stood out for you? So just be coming randomly, but if you still want to share, you can put up your hand and I'll deliver the microphone to you. But in the meantime, just think about it. What stood out for you? What did you pick? What did you pick? What did you pick? What did you pick? Thank you so much. Your name, organization, and what stood out for you. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Caleb Ngala. I'm a youth leader in Mathare Sub-County and also representing a civil society organization known as Light of Hope Away From Home. What I've picked from these 8 thematic areas from the strategic plan, which is the most important, is partnership and with the stakeholders engagement. As we approach the election, is all about engagement. And if we continue raising awareness and creating public engagement with especially the electorates, I believe this election will not be competitive, but it will be a moment for us to make a decision for the future generation of our country. Thank you.
An opportunity for us to make an impact. I love that. Stakeholder engagement, absolutely important. What stood out for you? Your name and organization.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Margaret Ndanye. I represent the UDA party. And I think what strikes me most from this strategic plan is the various activities that Registrar of Political Parties has put in place that will guide the parties as we get into 2027. And the use now of technology, the AI, this is quite important to us. Thank you.
Dr. Margaret, thank you so much indeed. The use of AI, what about you? Your name, good to see you. Your name and organization and what stood out for you? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Jane Thuo from the Association of Media Women in Kenya. What stood out for me, I won't repeat what has been said, apart from the stakeholder engagement, is the fact that there are resources set aside to ensure that all the plans activities are achieved.
Compliance activities are achieved. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our chief guest, Honorable Attorney General Karibu Sana. We celebrate you. Thank you for your presence. IEBC Chairman makofi yake tafadhali as well. Thank you so much for your presence. Asanteni sana. So basically looking at the strategic plan that we're about to launch, 2025-2028, the overview, and on the screen we do have the Menti platform to enable you to post your thoughts. What is your take? What's your take home point? What do you think ORPP can do to fully implement this strategic plan so that the moment we leave here, we won't say we just witnessed a document being launched, but we were part of a movement that is set to make our country better. So please utilize that particular platform. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, for the next couple of minutes, and I'd kindly request our dear speakers, because of time, we'll give you about 3 minutes so that you can engage with us, your thoughts, your ideas. And as always, once you hear this sound, that means please wind up. We'll really appreciate it. It's already 3 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 3 minutes to 11 a.m. To kick off this particular session, please welcome on the screen, let's have
He is the Regional Director for East and the Horn of Africa at the International Republican Institute. He is an experienced democracy and governance expert specializing in political party development, institutional strengthening, and democratic resilience. Please welcome Francis Rogers.
Big round of applause, please.
Our chief guest, chairman of the IEBC, CEO and registrar of the ORPP, members of the diplomatic community, political parties, leaders here present, senior government officials, CSOs, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I will begin by, I will just tell you three things, and then I take my seat. The first one is to talk about the healthy relationship that the International Republican Institute and the ORPP has enjoyed, especially this year as we embarked on so many things. One of those things that we did this year was to actually reach out to young people who had the idea of being partyless, leaderless, fearless, and all the less you can mention. And in those engagements, along with the Registrar of Political Parties, the Honorable John Cox LORIONOKOU, and I and our teams went to the field and engaged young people about this idea of being partyless and leaderless, which we find to be not so interesting, but poses some risks and danger and needed to be addressed. And it was interesting to know that these young people who were partyless, a lot of them knew little about how the parties actually worked, how they were formed. And that gap was filled in by the ORPP technical team, providing information about how parties are formed and so forth. And with that, we were able to gather young people together from across the country at a summit at the JW Marriott, where the Honorable Chair of the IEBC served as the chief guest, and again presented these young people idea of being partyless, leaderless to the political parties. There, the parties is our hope. It was our hope that they understood what the young people actually meant and tried to design strategies to engage these young people. It has been interesting to know that a lot of these young people who were partyless and leaderless are now belonging to parties and now willing to participate in the democratic process. You know, Kenya being a leader of democracy and governance in the region and in Africa, it is important to understand the role of the ORPP, especially as they manage these political parties or political players. Some of those things that came up from the engagements centered around the lack of trust, which again was the underlying thing about, you know, how the young people perceive parties. But that, I can say, is watering away slowly. The second thing I want to say is, as we launch this strategic plan, the ORPP has detailed activities, and these activities will only be implemented through our joint partnership. So as the International Republican Institute, we are committing ourselves to the ORPP to ensure that we make sure that this strategic plan is implemented. And I'm also calling on partners like-minded to join the ORPP to ensure that the strategic plan is implemented. As you may know, this strategic plan covers the election cycle. And I mentioned trust earlier. And I want to give a story about that before I take my seat. When the young people talk about trust, it's either because they don't have information, they lack the necessary information that should be coming from every one of us to them. But there was an old preacher somewhere in the desert, and he was preaching, and he said there was a time for political activities, and several politicians went to his village to campaign. And there was one particular one that went to the village to campaign and told them, I'm going to build you a bridge. And the community was like, wait, just take a break. We are in the desert. How can you build a bridge in this desert? And he said, I'm going to bring the river and I will build a bridge on top of the river. So when trust issue is mentioned, sometimes it's like those kind of unrealistic things that the young people refers to. So it's my hope that we will all improve sensitization, both parties and non-state actors, state actors, to ensure that awareness, sensitization is going across to the right people, and that at the end we can ensure that this strategic plan is a success. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much indeed. Bridge plus river, how possible is that? But ladies and gentlemen, we want you to engage online to make sure that our online audience is also following these conversations. So we do have a hashtag, Plan for Impact for Progress. Plan for Impact for Progress. Very important hashtag. And of course, this particular proceeding is live. All you have to do is go to the ORPP YouTube channel. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, 3 minutes rather, let's have our next speaker.
He is the Country Director for Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy Kenya Country Office, where he leads programs that promote inclusive governance, democratic resilience, political dialogue, and citizen participation. Please welcome Ronald Ojwang.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning once again. Our chief guest, Honorable Dorcas Oduor, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, the Registrar of Political Parties, Mr. John Cox, the Chairperson of the IEBC, Mr. Erastus Ethekon, all distinguished guests present, good morning. It is a pleasure to join you here today for the official launch of the strategic plan for the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. On behalf of the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy, we would like to congratulate the Registrar and the entire team on this important occasion. This strategic plan is more than just an institutional roadmap. It represents a shared commitment to strengthening our country's key democratic institutions. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties plays a critical role in creating an enabling environment for political parties to fulfill their mandate while promoting compliance with the law. The implementation of this strategic plan, particularly as we prepare for the elections next year, presents an important opportunity to further deepen and strengthen public trust in our democratic institutions. The Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy has been privileged to work with the Office of the Registrar over the past several years in advancing critical institutional reforms while supporting political party dialogue through support to the Political Parties Liaison Committee. This partnership reflects our broader commitment as an institute to promoting political dialogue, strengthening democratic institutions, and enhancing the meaningful participation of traditionally underrepresented groups in our country's political processes. We believe that strong democratic institutions are fundamental to a peaceful, inclusive, and resilient Kenya. In conclusion, even as we launch the strategic plan today, May all stakeholders present here today renew their commitment to working together to promote a political environment where dialogue, political tolerance, participation and accountability can flourish in this country. Congratulations once again to the Registrar and your entire team. We wish you every success in implementing this important strategy. Asanteni.
Ronald Ojwang, thank you so much. Up next, he is the designated German ambassador to the Republic of Kenya, the Federal Republic of Somalia, and the Republic of Seychelles, and to UNEP and UN Habitat. He is a policy, global affairs expert with a wealth of experience spanning decades in a host of African countries and Europe. Please welcome the chairperson, Election Working Group, Ambassador Sebastian Groth.
Thank you very much for this warm welcome. Chief guest, Attorney General Dorcas Odua and Registrar of the Political Parties. Thank you very much for associating me and us to this very important moment. I speak on behalf of the Elections Working Group, which is a group of partner countries of Kenya that brings together a number of countries that are coordinating a little bit the support that we are giving towards the electoral process, and I'm presenting this statement on behalf of the whole group. So we would like, first of all, really from the bottom of our heart, congratulate ORPP on the launch of its strategic plan 2025-28. As Kenya's partners in the development of democratic governance, we appreciate this opportunity to engage with ORPP as one of the very important stakeholders of Kenya's democratic governance architecture. And it was said earlier, and it's true, Kenya stands out in the region and on the continent as a beacon of hope for democracy and peaceful transition of power. The Elections Working Group, jointly chaired by the German Embassy and the British High Commission in Nairobi, has been established to provide a platform for coordinating technical support to electoral institutions and processes for ensuring alignment of donor interventions with Kenya's electoral priorities and cycle. As of today, the EWG members have already committed funding to numerous ongoing and projected activities in support of Kenya's electoral ecosystem. And in parentheses, we at the German Embassy, for example, we support, as of now, 6 different projects. Interreligious Council, Interfaith Council of Kenya is one of our partners. I saw representatives here. A number of youth groups, women's groups, and what is very important for us, and I saw this also reflected in the strategy, is that we are not only focusing on the big cities, on Nairobi, but that we are also trying to cover different counties all over the country. So what we are doing as a group testifies to the dedicated commitment of Kenya's partners to support the country's democratic pathway despite an ever-tightening fiscal framework. The most important priority that emanates from this plethora of activities is our shared interest in a peaceful and trusted electoral process 2027. As the independent regulator of political parties, I encourage the ORPP to continue its important work in promoting compliance with the law, strengthening internal party governance, advancing inclusion and upholding democratic accountability. Effective, trusted and resilient political parties are essential to a healthy democracy. ORPPs plays a crucial role in championing credible internal party processes, including transparent and democratic party nominations, effective dispute resolution and adherence to party constitutions. These are fundamental to building public trust in political parties and reducing electoral tensions well before polling day. And that's, I think, also why the timing of this event here is so important. The Political Party Liaison Committee provides a formal platform for this important structural dialogue between ORPP, IEBC and registered parties. This structured dialogue requires all stakeholders to play their part, including IEBC and the political parties. and especially Kenya's youth rightfully demand parties to be inclusive, accountable, and capable of contributing constructively to the country's long-term development and stability, and I encourage all parties to heed their call. Also, in light of public debate around the recent by-elections, I would like to stress in particular the importance of implementing rigorous political party and campaign financing regulations. Lack of transparency in sources of funding and how resources are used, for example as voter treatment, could lead to voters believing that only those with money can really influence political decisions, and this could seriously undermine trust in democracy itself. On the contrary, effective campaign financing rules can contribute to a level playing field, strengthen electoral integrity, and build public confidence in the outcome of elections. ORPP, together with IEBC, are at the forefront of this crucial endeavor. The Electoral Working Group will diligently study ORPP's strategic plan, looking for synergies and opportunities for enhanced cooperation. And on behalf of my co-chair and the whole group, I would also like to extend an invitation to ORPP to present the strategy and its underlying priorities to the whole group in greater detail at the earliest opportunity. Thank you very much.
Ambassador Sebastian Groth, thank you so much. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, he is the chairman of the political party's liaison committee, the chairman of the Progressive Party of Kenya, and a governance, democracy, and electoral expert with over 2 decades of experience in political economy, anticipatory governance, multi-party democracy, and civil society. He is also a director of the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance, Kenya. Please welcome Evans Misati.
Thanks so much. Our Chief Guest, Honorable Dorcas Odol, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, Chairman IPC, Rasta Sedekon, Bwana Cox, diplomatic representatives, IPC commissioners, leaders of political parties, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Evans Misati. I am currently the chairman of the National Steering Committee of the Political Parties Liaison Committee, and I'm sure there are many members representing political parties in here who came to see the registrar today, not as a member of the tripartite, but as a regulator. I hope that's the case, Bwana Cox. Now, will I see by a show of hands the number of people who have come from political parties? If you don't mind, the people who are here. You can see it's almost half of the room. They are representative of political parties. Bwana Cox, as you are aware, PPLC, as a tripartite body, we are here in solidarity with the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. I'm sure from 2025 to 2028, now that we have 97, you'll be having around 300, I think, by 2028, given the way we behave as Kenyans. Because the level of mistrust that we have, you have 6 members or 10, you can see people in united opposition, but each and every one of them has got a political party or a leader of a political party. And the message is like, you either do what I want, or I also unleash mine. Because the political parties in this country, they are headed by who is who in this country. That's a fact. Let us be very honest to one another. KANU is now around 66 years old. KANU is 66 years old. I don't know whether the representative of KANU is here. KANU is 66 years old. But the other day, I went to the Chinese embassy and they were celebrating 105 years of the China Communist Party. I don't know which year we'll be able to go there. My own political party, Progressive Party of Kenya, is now 20 years, so I'm really behind. So let me say one thing about the political parties. Bwana Registrar, my budget is domiciled in your office. but I've just noted a very serious error. There's somebody who was making the budget. Instead of 8 zeros, they put 7 zeros of my budget. So please, Honourable Registrar, that's a very serious anomaly, and political parties in here can agree with me that is a very serious anomaly. Please look at that, because each and every person is talking about dialogue. I need to face my colleague, my party, my other party, other political parties, and tell them that we have to work this thing together. We have to allow democracy, we have to allow the citizens to do the elections. So if we do not have budget to convene and do our dialogue, we will not be able to achieve that. Each and every partner here is talking about democracy, NMID. I have seen the chairman, the electoral working group. Please, I want to request you that you resource this body called PPLC so that we can change. There is nothing for us without us. We will always be complaining about political parties year in, year out, but until the time we resource the PPLC so that they can engage exhaustively, it will never change. Lastly, I have seen the IPC chairman and the commissioners. Of course, I'm sure you have, I know the task you have currently, and I know getting out of office, getting out of the interviews is critical. To spend 20 or 30 minutes out, but for tomorrow's activity, I will encourage you openly and publicly to attend, because campaign financing is a very serious issue. It's a key thing in Kenya as we are moving. The political parties have organized themselves and they want to be involved. So kindly, let's work on it as we move towards the 2027. Mwakazi is always, I think next time I'll tell Mwakazi to open the servers. He always takes one of my minutes, always. Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Ms. Busati, a big round of applause. Thank you so much indeed. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, he is the Secretary, Minorities and Marginalized Affairs Unit in the Executive Office of the President. He provides strategic leadership in advancing government policies, programs and legislative reforms aimed at promoting the rights, inclusion and socio-economic empowerment of Kenya's ethnic minorities and marginalized communities. Please welcome Honorable Josephat Nowoi Lodeya.
Thank you very much. A minority in this room because my height on this table is the chief guest, Attorney General of Kenya, Madam Dorcas, the chair, IBC Erastus Edekon, the registrar, my friend John Cox, the chair in the Senate, Mheshimiwa Wakili Hilary, Honorable Tim, my neighbor, who's also a member of the committee deals with these issues in the National Assembly, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Receive greetings from the Executive Office of the President, where I lead an office that deals with the minorities in marginalized communities. In the specific rights in our Constitution, Article 56 is marginalized by itself. All the other articles, over the years, something has been done, at least to make sure that the implementation process has started. But Article 56 is just last year that we woke up to realize that we have the people, so-called minorities and marginalized in this country, and also their rights are enshrined in our Constitution. In today's meeting, let me congratulate the ORPP for the strategic plan they are coming with that is going to guide us going through. You are the prefect of the leaders of this country. You steer parties that produce the presidents, and more so the opposition. This is where all the noise and all the leadership is. It's in your hands as ORPP and led by you, John. The minority and marginalized community have been left behind for far too long, since the sessional paper number 10 of 1965. This community are neither known or seen by anyone. Just imagine in a country that other parts of this country, we have story schools, but other kids are still studying under trees. In this country, where women still walk 30 kilometers in search of health facilities. In this country, same country that we are all in paying taxes, we still have kids that are mothers to kids because they don't know what else to do. These are the communities that we are working with them and making sure that they are mainstreamed in all government agencies and ministries. Because we cannot continue this way 70 years after independence. So with this strategic plan, we believe that the minority voice will be heard, as sometimes we are not seen. The marginalized communities will be given an opportunity to lead. When the Political Parties Act speaks of nominating the minority communities into leadership, in the county assemblies more so, you find those bigger communities still nominating their clans into those positions to represent the minorities. Who will speak for the minorities and the marginalized in this country? John Cox, you are one of them. You are given this opportunity, kindly. We've served the 75% of this country for far too long. It's a time that we turn our eyes and our hearts to the remaining 25% who are also Kenyans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Josephat Lowoi. Up next, ladies and gentlemen.
He is the Deputy Auditor General with over 20 years of experience in public finance, auditing, governance and financial management across the public and private sectors. He provides strategic leadership in financial audits, strengthening public...
Thank you, Mokazi. Our Chief Guest, Honorable Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, the Chair, IEBC, CEO and Chief Registrar of Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, members of the diplomatic community, representatives of political parties, distinguished stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a genuine honor and privilege to stand before you this morning, to witness the third strategic plan for the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. On behalf of the Auditor General, let me take this early opportunity to appreciate the invitation and to appreciate the fact that this organization has placed accountability at the heart of this occasion. A strategic plan is far more than a bureaucratic document. As we approach the next general elections coming August 2027, this is a covenant, a declaration of intent between this institution and the sovereign people of Kenya. It charts a roadmap towards deepening multi-party democracy and fostering political governance. However, from my vantage point at the Office of the Auditor General, I view this plan from a specific lens, the lens of public accountability and fiscal integrity. Political parties are not just mere private institutions. They are public institutions that receive exchequer funding. Consequently, they bear a fiduciary duty to account for every shilling entrusted to them by the taxpayer. This strategic direction must therefore serve as the cornerstone for turning the tide on the challenges that we've been having. Our audits in the recent past have picked several issues, and to strike the point and put it across, I'll take you through 3 items where we want to see things working. One of them is strengthening of internal controls. Every financial decision you make, every procurement process you start, must be transparent, procedurally sound, and verifiable. Recently, we launched the Finance and Procurement Manual for the ORPP. This complements the plan perfectly. I urge you to use it. Secondly, risk management. We need you to look at the pitfalls of financial management early, mitigate your risks before it's too late and you collect adverse audit queries. Last but not least, there's the issue of reporting, which has been a challenge. Adherence to submission timelines is not negotiable. Non-compliance does not just undermine transparency, it erodes the very public trust that our democracy depends on. I wish to call us to action, ladies and gentlemen. The success of this plan is not solely the responsibility of the ORPP. It requires collective ownership by all political parties and all present in this room. I urge party leaders, treasurers, administrators to embrace those provisions and align your internal operations with the principles of accountability. The Office of the Auditor General has engaged closely with the ORPP, and we have developed several frameworks. We don't seek to be adversaries. We are partners in building a robust democratic ecosystem. Our audits use them as diagnostic tools, not merely fault-finding missions, because that's not what they are. They are designed to help institutions improve performance and governance, and we pledge to continue working together to provide the technical support that is needed. As we embark on the implementation of this strategic plan, let us remember the ultimate beneficiary, the Kenyan citizen. A well-regulated, transparent, and accountable political party system is the bedrock of a stable, peaceful, and prosperous nation. As I conclude, I want to give you the words of Desmond Tutu. Do your little bit of good where you are. It's because of these little bits that come together and overwhelm the world. Distinguished guests, the roadmap is set and the compass is clear. It's now upon us to walk the path of integrity with courage and discipline. On behalf of the Auditor General, I congratulate the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties for this visionary milestone. May your implementation be as exemplary as your planning. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless the Republic of Kenya. Asante.
Excellent. Thank you so much indeed, CPA Moses Mulozia. Now representing the representative of the United Nations Development Program, we do have Mr. Julius Corredo, UNDP Governance and Inclusive Growth Acting Team Leader. Welcome. 3 minutes, please. Apologies, just for a moment.
The Honorable Chief Guest, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, legislators present, the Registrar of Political Parties, the Chairperson of IBC, development partners here present, colleagues from the United Nations, leaders, members of political parties, and all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Julius Corredo. I'm representing the resident representative of UNDP, Dr. Jean-Luc, who would have really wished to be here, but on account of a competing engagement, he could not make it. I will read his remarks straight away. This launch of a significant milestone by the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is very, very important for Kenya's political milestone on the road towards the 2027. The timing is a milestone that is momentous because the adoption of a clear strategic roadmap demonstrates the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties' foresight, preparedness, institutional leadership, and it also sends signals that the electoral preparation are in motion and that key democratic institutions are investing early in the foundations necessary for a credible, peaceful, and inclusive elections. Political parties are the primary vehicles through which citizens participate in Kenya's democratic process, and therefore the strength of political parties has a direct bearing on the strength of Kenya's democracy. The ORPP occupies a unique place within Kenya's democratic architecture by promoting internal party democracy, transparency, accountability, constitutional principles. And through these mandates, ORPP contributes directly to building public confidence in electoral processes and democratic governance. So the impact of this work is already evident, because ORPP's post-election evaluation found that the number of candidates contesting elective positions has increased from 14,542 in 2017 to about 16,100 in 2022, reflecting the growing importance of ORPP in enabling citizens participate and in strengthening political systems. The United Nations is proud with its long-standing partnership with the ORPP, and together we have supported initiatives that are aimed at strengthening institutional capacity, promoting gender-responsive political process, and enhancing political party compliance, conducting post-election evaluations, and building leaderships and technical competence through programs such as Bridge. So as preparations advance for the ballot, for the rollout of the new elections support program, Basket Fund, we look forward to continue deepening this partnership and working together with shared priorities that strengthen democratic governance and electoral integrity. To conclude, the strategic plan 2025-2028 therefore comes as an opportune moment to guide ORPP and the stakeholders towards advancing stronger political parties and more inclusive participation, transparent nominations, and greater adherence to constitutional values. So the UNDP remains committed to working alongside Government of Kenya, the ORPP, political parties, IBC and other development partners, and all electoral stakeholders in support of peaceful, credible, and inclusive elections. Thank you very much.
Julius Corredo, thank you so much indeed. Up next, he is the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, a distinguished legal practitioner and strategic advisor with over 15 years of leadership experience in governance, peace building, and sustainable development across Africa. An advocate of the High Court of Kenya, he has served in senior roles with governments, the African Union, and the United Nations, advancing electoral integrity, conflict resolution, and democratic governance. Please welcome Erastus Ebul Ethekon.
Thank you very much, Mwakazi. Our chief guest, the Honorable, the Attorney General, the Registrar of Political Parties, who is our host this morning, the Chairperson of the Political Parties Liaison Committee, and all the political party representatives present here. The chairpersons of the respective jailer committees of Parliament, that is the Senate, and represented by Mheshimiwa Hilary Sigei, present here, I recognize you, and Honorable Tim Kipchumba of the National Assembly, members of the diplomatic corps. You can see Ambassador Groth present here, who is also the co-chair of the donor working group on elections, support to elections, civil society representatives here, staff of ORPP, staff of IBC present here. And of course, I would like to take this opportunity to also recognize the presence of my commissioners. Please, may you stand up a little bit to be congratulated for Olkalau, which is our recent deliverable, bringing our tally to 32 by-elections since we took office 1 year now. Allow me to make very quick and brief remarks this occasion. This is the occasion for the launch of the strategic plan of a very important constitutional office of the Registrar of Political Parties. We all know political parties are our clients. Without political parties, I think IBC would not exist. Is that true? So we celebrate you, the political parties present here. We celebrate the office of the Registrar of Political Parties that establishes, that registers you and regulates our political parties. It is my great honor to join you today for the launch of the strategic plan of the ORPP. Allow me therefore, on behalf of the Commission, that is Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, to congratulate the Registrar and the entire ORPP team on this important milestone. The launch of a strategic plan is an opportunity for an institution to define how it intends to serve the people and the Republic of Kenya over the coming years. More importantly, it's a promise to strengthen the institutions that underpin our constitutional democracy. And I dare remind all of us that Kenya is a multi-party constitutional democracy. The ORPP therefore plays a critical role in ensuring that political parties operate within the law, uphold democratic values, and contribute to stable and credible electoral processes. This occasion particularly is meaningful to us as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission because it comes right immediately after we launched our very own strategic plan and the election roadmap for 2027 general election, which is the election operation plan, which guides and sets the timelines within which we'll be holding the next general election. And therefore, together with this strategic plan of ORPP, these frameworks and plans will guide us, will give us direction as we prepare for the next general election. We wish also to reaffirm our commitment as IBC to working together and very closely with ORPP and indeed with all other stakeholders to ensure that we strengthen at every stage the electoral process of the Republic of Kenya, because it's our shared responsibility. As we move closer to the next election, I appeal to all of us to strengthen our institutions in order that we deliver a peaceful, credible, free and fair elections come 2027. It is therefore essential that we collaborate and strengthen our partnerships, and particularly with ORPP, because the law requires us to work very closely in areas such as political party registration and compliance with the electoral laws. Because you are our clients, we need to work closely to ensure that we comply with the laws, to ensure that during the nomination of the party primaries and during that period within which we register the candidates to become candidates. Now, for us to prepare the ballots for them, we need to work closely. We need to strengthen political party oversight, working with PPLC within the tripartite arrangement. Ambassador Growth has spoken about campaign financing. We are on it. We are currently, the act is there, the Election Campaign Financing Act, but we had issues with the regulations. We can actually, as of now, IBC has the powers to enforce the campaign financing regulations in as far as the Act is concerned. But the regulations had issues with the courts, and we were given some directions which we are complying with at the moment. So we are going through public participation, and we've invited all the political parties, the civil society, members of the public. We've published a memorandum asking for their views, because that's what the courts directed. So again, we will work on that, and I think tomorrow's forum, Mr. Misati, the Commission will be represented at the highest level. So that because we attach a lot of importance on campaign financing regulation. We need to sanitize the environment within which we conduct our elections, so that we allow the people of Kenya the free will, because that's what the Constitution says, the universal suffrage, the freedom to choose without being coerced, intimidated, threatened, or treated. Of course, during our experience with the last 32 elections, by-elections, we also witnessed some incidences that are threatening our very own democracy and elections. That includes violence, some incidences of violence, though not widespread, but if unchecked can actually impact negatively on the environment and the outcomes of the election. Because what do you do if there's violence and chaos covering almost, let's say, 30% of an election, or 40%, you might just be forced to do the unthinkable, which is we pull our stuff from there, our materials and personnel, we secure them. And then that means in your ward or in your constituency, we will not have elections. And we will not compromise on that. So we have to maintain the highest standards of ethics, integrity, and compliance with the laws. So there are a number of areas where we intersect and work closely with the ORPP, which is why this strategic plan is very important to us. Again, as I conclude, I wish to emphasize that IBC alone cannot deliver on the elections. We can have the best plans possible, we can have the resources, but if the external environment is not conducive, then it will be problematic. So that's why we are looking at collaborations and partnerships with institutions present here, political parties, RPP, civil society, the media that is covering this event, and all Kenyan citizens to meaningfully engage in our democratic processes and support our electoral management body to deliver. And I therefore remain committed as the leader of IBC, together with my team, to work closely with all of you, all the electoral duty bearers, including the office of our Attorney General, who is our chief guest, the political parties, the judiciary, parliament, development partners, so that as duty bearers, we are prepared enough to fulfill our respective constitutional mandates and deliver to Kenyans, to fellow Kenyans, and indeed the region and the globe, a free, fair, credible, and peaceful 2027 general election. This is a shared responsibility I must emphasize again and again, and therefore I count on all of us to do our bit to ensure that we achieve exactly that objective. I thank you very much.
Chairman, IEBC, thank you so much. Up next, he is the elected senator for Bomet County. He is the current chairperson of the Senate Standing Committee on Justice, Human Rights and Legal Affairs, and a member of the Senate Business Committee. He is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, recognized for his leadership in legislative affairs, constitutional governance, the rule of law, and the advancement of justice and democratic institutions. Please welcome Senator Wakili Hillary Kiprotich.
Thank you very much, Johnson. I will abide by the clock that you've provided, and so I'll straight go to my comments. The chief guest of today, the Honorable Attorney General, Honorable Dorcas, Senior Counsel, the chairperson of IEBC, my senior Erastus, the CEO of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, Mr. John Cox, the registrars and assistant registrars present, and the partners who are here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. Allow me to just run through the brief that I have prepared for this morning. And it is my privilege to join the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties this morning as you launch the 2025-2028 Strategic Plan, which is a document that will guide the work of this office through one of the most consequential periods in our electoral calendar. Allow me once again to congratulate the Registrar and the entire ORPP team on this great achievement. A strategic plan of this nature is not simply a schedule of activities as we've been shown, but it is a statement of direction. By anchoring this plan in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the fourth medium-term plan of Kenya Vision 2030, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals, the office has affirmed that the work of registering and regulating political parties is not separate from national development. It is, in fact, central to it. A country cannot transform its economy without first securing the political stability that comes from well-governed, accountable political parties. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, therefore, occupies a place in our constitutional order that deserves greater recognition. Established under Article 260 of the Constitution, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is mandated to register political parties, regulate their conduct, and administer the political parties' fund, thus placing the office at the center of how Kenyans organize themselves politically. Every party that seeks the trust of the electorate, every coalition that is formed, and every dispute that arises within a party passes through the framework of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. It's quite technical work, but it's the work that keeps our multi-party democracy functioning with the deserved integrity. This is why the relationship between Parliament and this office matters so much. As legislators, we rely on the ORPP to translate the law into practice, and in turn, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties relies on us as legislators to keep that legal framework responsive to the times. Ours is not a relationship of oversight alone. It is a genuine partnership built on the shared conviction that political parties, properly regulated, become vehicles for representation rather than instruments of division within our political space. The Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee has worked closely with this office. Whenever we have had to consider the state of preparedness for the next general elections and elections-related legislation, we have also received, and most of the time substantive input and recommendations from the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. This has gone a long way in enriching the quality and implementability of the resultant legislation. And on behalf of my committee, that is Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee of the Senate, I want to record our appreciation for that professionalism to your team, John, and the rest of the stakeholders whom we have engaged over the time we've been in office. Indeed, just last month, we held a high-level engagement with the ORPP, IEBC, PPDT, and the Judiciary Committee on Elections, that is JCE, to review priority electoral reforms ahead of the next general elections, including the proposed amendments to the Political Parties Act, and also similar concerns that I've seen were mentioned in the strategic plan when CPA Agada was running us through a preview of the strategic plan 2025-2028. We therefore launched this strategic plan with the 2027 general election firmly in view. That election is no longer a distant date, it is approaching, and quickly for that matter, and the decisions this office makes today in how parties are registered, how disputes are resolved, how compliance is enforced, and how our systems are prepared will shape the credibility of the election. To the registrar and the ORPP team, the Senate stands ready to support you through legislation where it is required, through oversight that is constructive, and through partnership that is genuine. To our political parties and fellow stakeholders, I urge you to treat this strategic plan not as a document belonging to the office alone, but as a shared roadmap for the democracy that we all wish to protect. Let's approach the coming general election cycle with the seriousness, and let us do so together for the prosperity of our country. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very great day. Thank you.
Senator Wakili, thank you so much. Up next, he is an advocate of Kenya and a Marakwet West Member of Parliament. He is a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee and the Committee on Regional Integration of the National Assembly. Please welcome Honorable Timothy Kipchumba.
Good morning. Our chief guest for the day, the Honorable Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. Oduor Senior Counsel, the Chairperson of the IBC, Erastus Ethekon, the Registrar of the political parties, John Cox, all the distinguished guests this morning, good morning. For the avoidance of doubt, my name is Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich, Member of Parliament, Marakwet West. I'm here also on behalf of the National Assembly Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, and I will go direct to the remarks by the committee. Allow me to begin by conveying greetings from the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. It is my privilege to deliver these remarks on behalf of the Honorable George Kitonga Murugara, CBS MP, Chairperson of the committee. It is a fitting moment for the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties to unveil its strategic plan for 2025 to 2028 as such an opportune moment when the strength of our democratic institutions is being tested and in many respects strengthened through that very experience. The mandate of the National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee places us in direct and continuous engagement with the legal architecture that governs political parties in Kenya. In the exercise of the National Assembly's oversight role, JLAC has engaged with the RPP, and it is well acquainted with the broader questions confronting political parties today, among them party discipline, funding, and internal democracy. In the committee, therefore, the committee continues to work alongside the RPP as both partner and overseer, conscious that a strong and well-resourced RPP makes our own oversight more effective. It is in this spirit of partnership that we celebrate this milestone with you today. Our strategic plan is only as good as the institutional will behind it. I commend the RPP and its partners for the collaborative spirit that has evidently gone into shaping this document. Strengthening political parties is not a partisan undertaking. It is a constitutional duty. Article 92 of the Constitution 2010 obligates Parliament to enact legislation regulating political parties, and this plan gives practical shape or shapes what regulation should achieve on that ground. That is transparency in party funding, internal democracy, and orderly political competition. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, I wish to reaffirm our readiness to work with the ORPP as it implements the priorities set out in this plan. Where legislative amendments are needed to strengthen the ORPP, whether on enforcement, on funding compliance, or on dispute resolution within parties, JLAC stands to engage and support. Notably, as we approach the 2027 general elections, and in view of the critical role the ORPP is expected to play in that process, JLAC commits to sustained support for the ORPP and urges the registrar to keep Parliament closely informed as implementation proceeds so that oversight remains timely rather than reactive. In closing, allow me to once again congratulate the registrar and his team on reaching this milestone. A well-regulated multi-party system is a public good, and this committee remains a willing partner in that endeavor. RPP, this is not the first time I am engaging with you. I am a consumer and a beneficiary of RPP. When I lost to you the party nominations, I sought to be elected as MP Marakwet West as an independent member of parliament. And you are the ones who approved my party symbol. You approved the 1,000 signatures. So I am a consumer of your good services. And therefore, as ORPP, you have a moral and legal obligation to protect our democracy. You are, as ORPP, you are an enabler in ensuring that IBC and political parties in this country conduct a free, a fair, a democratic, a transparent, and credible elections. As ORPP, you must know that you are the ones managing political parties. The biggest challenge that we have in this country is party primaries, party nominations. So ensure that the candidate you are giving IBC is a candidate that has been subjected to the free will of the people. And therefore, thank you so much and God bless you.
Honorable Kichumba, as a beneficiary, I just want to give you a quick challenge, just a quick challenge. Just show us how to, just as an appreciation, just a simple dance move. Everybody, let's be upstanding. Kichumba, Honorable Kichumba, just show us a simple move there. Let's go, give us sound. Okay, let's go, Kichumba. Honorable Kichumba. Let's go. Twende. Bas, kila mtu. Bas. There we go. Honorable Kichumba, makofi yake tafadhali. Well done, thank you so much. Na hapo ndipo pia tumkaribisha up next, ladies and gentlemen.
He is the Registrar of Political Parties and Chief Executive Officer of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, providing strategic leadership in the regulation and management of political parties in Kenya. A seasoned governance and elections management expert, he is passionate about strengthening democratic institutions, promoting ethical leadership and building sustainable political parties that safeguard Kenya's multi-party democracy. Please welcome John Cox LORIONOKOU.
Thank you very much. I realize this hall is very cold since morning, and I remember one of the stakeholders called me and asked, where have you taken this meeting? And I said, it's in Trademark in a village market. He said, that's a very cold place. So I don't know if the cold is from inside or it's from outside, so I want to believe it is from outside. Our chief guest this morning, the Honorable Attorney General, my brother and the chair of Electoral Commission, Erastus Edungetekon. I also want to specially recognize the presence of the commissioners. I feel very warm by all of you being here. Thank you very much for coming. The chair of the PPLC, my brother Misati, the representative of the institutions from different organizations, the ambassador here representing the team that gives us the resources we use, members of the different political parties present, my staff, and the different many institutions represented here, including independent commissions. Good morning. Or is it afternoon already? I will skip the reading a lot because I know our time is far much gone, and I think we have had all the things we could ever read if all of us were to read. I just want to highlight a few things and say that this is a very big day, as many of you have said, and I feel honored that you have come to share in this celebration. of the launch of the ORPP Strategic Plan 2025-2028. And so your presence is a strong statement that we have a shared journey in the process of democracy. I want to say that for ORPP as an institution, it is both a reflection and also a focus on where we are going, because we do recognize that political parties are the lifeblood of our democracy. Their health, their conduct, and their internal governance directly dictate the quality of our nation's leadership and our nation's democracy. Therefore, this strategic plan serves as a framework designed to institutionalize order, demand accountability, and ensure that our regulatory environment keeps with the pace in evolving aspirations of the people of Kenya. I want to say that our objectives are, of course, anchored on our national focus, on the development agenda, the better agenda. But our aim is to foster a political ecosystem that is not merely functional, but transformational, moving away from personality-driven politics towards issue-based, results-oriented, and leadership that is accountable to the citizens. I'm sure some of you are thinking whether I live in Kenya. But I dare say, yes, I do recognize the challenges we face. I do recognize the limitations we have. But I do believe in a dream that one day this country will embrace political parties that are institutions that are based on values, that are institutions that not only speak but also practice the principles of good governance. I have been saying this for a while, and I'll say this today. For as long as the constitution we have still prescribes that candidates, except for the independent candidates, as my brother mentioned, have to be presented by political parties, I keep saying this. Up to until when our political parties embrace democracy, embrace good governance, we will keep struggling with democracy and with governance even at the national level, because they are the houses where these leaders come from. My urge is, as we look back to the activities of 2022, we have a sobering but an essential feedback. We have processed that feedback from citizens, from the political class, and our partners. And we are looking at the interventions that address the root causes of electoral challenges. And we want to emphasize on dispute resolution and to enforce compliance to ensure party politics is transparent and fair. We are not just regulators, we are growing a more stable and democratic political culture. As we roll this plan, therefore, our foundational pillars remain unshaken: professionalism, impartiality, transparency, and others as you see them. We pledge to remain independent as an arbiter that treats every political party and political entity with fairness, ensuring that the rules of the game are applied uniformly to all. I have full confidence that my office and the staff, by their unwavering dedication, will transform these commitments into tangible, measurable success. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to challenge us, not just as leaders of institutions and not just as representatives of government, but as citizens of this country. We can no longer live in this height that political parties are people's parties, are people's houses. Because the same political parties give you your president, give you your member of parliament, give you your member of county assembly. According to me, to that extent, they stop being a personal institution and they become a public entity. It's therefore my call that before the choices are made for you, be active and make the choices. I always keep saying, when we go to the ballot next year, if all we wait for is for Erastus Ethekon to announce the date of election and give us candidates, we are already making choices out of choices already made for us. I call upon Kenyans and all of us, not an incitement, but we need to invade the political processes within the political parties. We need to be active participants in those political parties. Do not allow your informed choice to be a choice of another choice. Make the choice yourself. I challenge you today to make this a commitment for yourself and for the people that you lead or that you guide in this process. I celebrate the launch of this plan, but I also want to specifically thank my predecessor for having done a very good job of setting it up and having it rolling to this extent. Commissioner Dr. Anderito, thank you very much for the work that you have done. I appreciate that. You set the bar very high, and I'm keeping up with it. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me not to indulge you with a lot of words, but let me now take this opportunity to give ourselves the opportunity to listen to one of the most renowned leaders in this country and somebody who sits at a very crucial office and stands at a time when there are a lot of crossroads in this country. And I believe that together, as my brother, the Commissioner Chair said, together we believe that Kenya can be a better country if all the stakeholders can hold their hands together. Please join me as we welcome the Attorney General, our chief guest for today, Honorable Dorcas Oduor, to come and grace this occasion. Let's put our hands together as we welcome.
She is the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya and a distinguished legal practitioner with over 30 years of experience in public service. An advocate of the High Court of Kenya and senior counsel, she has held several senior leadership roles within the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and has served on key presidential commissions and tribunals. Please welcome Honorable Dorcas Oduor.
Thank you very much for that introduction. The Registrar of Political Parties, government officials present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Sigei, Honorable Kipchumba, and members of the diplomatic corps. On behalf of the government, I want to take this opportunity to thank Ambassador Growth for your partnership, for your friendship, and for your leadership. As a government, we do appreciate you. Now, I ride on the courtesies as observed earlier if I didn't mention anybody. It is an honor to join you this morning as we witness the launch of the 2025-28 strategic plan for the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. Today's occasion is more than the unveiling of another institutional planning document. It is a reaffirmation of our collective commitment to strengthening Kenya's constitutional democracy and to building institutions that inspire public confidence, safeguard the rule of law, and deepen democratic governance. The Constitution of Kenya envisages a democratic state. A democratic state is not articulable unless we talk about process. Democracy is about due process. And it means that any person given a power to exercise, that power must be lawful, hence laws, the rule of law. That person must have the power to exercise that power. That exercise of power must be fair, equitable, transparent, accountable, and hence the strategic plan. And if not, then we have judicial review that is provided under the Constitution. Now, the Constitution of Kenya, as I have said, envisages a democratic state. And democracy is just about due process. And this democratic state must be founded upon the sovereignty of the people, the rule of law, inclusivity, accountability, and political pluralism. Now, the rule of law is very important in protecting human rights. Our Constitution 2010 guarantees political rights. These rights include the right to make political choices, participate in political activities, seek elective posts, amongst others. We have various laws that govern this exercise. They include the Elections Act and the Election Offences Act. Let me dispense with the issue of the early campaigning. Now, the Elections Act and the Elections Offences Act was found to be inadequate because over the years we have witnessed political activities outside the legally prescribed campaign period. And that is the matter that we are talking about this morning, and it has been mentioned by most speakers. For that reason, the Office of the Attorney General, through the Department of Justice and all stakeholders, have come up with an Election Amendment Bill 2026, which, amongst others, defines the term early campaigning, prescribes prohibited conduct, it confers enforcement powers to relevant institutions. It also provides for sanctions and violations. We did a lot of public participation, and it was inclusive of all stakeholders. The matter is pending before Cabinet, and once it is approved, we will take it to Parliament, and we hope that we will do that on time and in time. Now, early campaigns cannot be a matter for political parties only, and I could be wrong. I think independent candidates and individuals are also within that purview. And the early campaigns provisions will not only apply to political parties, but to everybody exercising those political rights and activities. They must be within the prescribed campaign period. At the heart of this constitutional vision of democratic society are a strong, transparent, and well-governed political parties. They are not merely vehicles for contesting elections. They are indispensable institutions through which citizens exercise their political rights, articulate their aspirations, and participate meaningfully in the governance of our republic. It is in this regard that the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties occupies a uniquely important place within our constitutional architecture. The Registrar is entrusted with the solemn responsibility of regulating political parties, promoting compliance with the Constitution and the Political Parties Act, strengthening internal party democracy, and fostering transparency and accountability in our multi-party system. In many respects, the office serves as one of the principal guardians of the integrity of our democratic process. I was in a board meeting this morning and I was telling my friend, the Registrar of Political Parties, they sent me to ask you what it means when we see billboards all over the country, people saying they want to be governors and MPs and MCAs, and information going all over of people who are aspiring to hold public offices. They were wondering whether there is a law governing such activities. And I told them I will come and ask you. Maybe you'll give an answer. As Attorney General and the principal legal advisor to the government under Article 156 of the Constitution, I appreciate that constitutional democracy is sustained not only by sound laws but also strong institutions capable of faithfully implementing them. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is one such institution. Its effectiveness contributes directly to constitutional governance, peaceful political competition, and the continued stability of our nation. Kenya's democratic journey over the past decade has demonstrated that strong institutions remain the surest guarantee of peaceful political transitions and constitutional continuity. Political parties must therefore continue to evolve beyond electoral vehicles into enduring institutions of governance, leadership development, and public accountability. The strategic plan comes at an opportune moment as our country advances the aspirations of Vision 2030 and implements the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. We must appreciate that sustainable socio-economic transformation cannot be achieved in the absence of stable democratic institutions. Economic prosperity and constitutional governance are mutually reinforcing. Nations that attract investment, foster innovation, and deliver inclusive development invariably do so upon the firm foundation of peace, political stability, and the rule of law. Accordingly, this strategic plan aligns not only with our national development priorities, but also with the Sustainable Development Goal 16, which calls upon nations to build peaceful, just, and accountable institutions, and Goal 17, which underscores the importance of collaboration in achieving sustainable development. The successful implementation of this strategic plan will therefore contribute significantly to strengthening democratic governance, enhancing political accountability, and promoting national cohesion. Ladies and gentlemen, as we chart the path ahead, it is equally important that we acknowledge the commendable achievements realized during the previous strategic period. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties has continued to demonstrate resilience, innovation, and institutional maturity in executing its constitutional and statutory mandates. The successful implementation of the Integrated Political Parties Management Information System, the continued strengthening of regulatory compliance, and the implementation of amendments to the Political Parties Act have considerably enhanced transparency and accountability within our multi-party system. Equally noteworthy is the remarkable increase in the number of political parties qualifying for the Political Parties Fund, from only 2 parties to 48 to date. This achievement reflects significant progress in institutionalizing political parties and encouraging greater compliance with the legal and regulatory framework governing political party management. I also commend the Office for its deliberate efforts to leverage technology in service delivery and for promoting the meaningful participation of women, youth, persons with disabilities, and other special interest groups within the political process. These efforts give political effect to our constitutional commitment to inclusivity, equality, and participatory democracy. I wanted to say this last, but let me say it now. Whoever imagined in the life of the Kenyan nation that the Registrar of Political Parties would be coming from Turkana? Who also imagined in our lifetime that the chairman of IEBC would be coming from Pokot? We have made strides and we should be happy about it. The aspiration contained in this strategic plan cannot be realized by the registrar alone, and he mentioned that himself. They require the collective commitment of political parties, constitutional commissions, independent offices, parliament, the judiciary, civil society, development partners, and indeed, every Kenyan who believes in the promise of our constitutional democracy. As a government, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting institutions that strengthen constitutional governance and promote the rule of law. The Office of the Attorney General remains ready to continue providing legal and policy support necessary to advance reforms that reinforce the integrity, transparency, and effectiveness of Kenya's political party system. To the Registrar and your dedicated team, I commend you for your vision and steadfast commitment to institutional excellence. The work you undertake each day contributes directly to the stability of our democracy, the credibility of our electoral processes, and the confidence that the citizens place in our constitutional institutions. I have seen that among your 6 pillars that you are going to concentrate on, there is the regulation of political parties. And I think people must see that you are actually doing that. Secondly, I'm happy to note that amongst the 6 is institutional governance. You are starting with the strategic plan, but to enhance people's faith in you, people must see that actually institutional governance should become a verb, not a noun, in your institution. In concluding, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to observe that the strength of any democracy is ultimately measured not by the number of political parties it has, but by the strength of the institutions that regulate them, the integrity with which they operate, and the confidence they inspire among the people they are established to serve. The strategic plan we launched today is therefore more than a roadmap for institutional performance. It is a renewed commitment to constitutionalism, democratic accountability, and responsible political leadership. May it guide the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties in building a political party system that is transparent, inclusive, accountable, and responsive to the aspirations of the people of Kenya. With these few remarks, it is now my singular honor to officially launch the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties Strategic Plan 2025-2028. I wish the Registrar and your entire team, the ORPP fraternity, every success in the implementation of this important roadmap. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Wow, thank you so much. And now, as we celebrate also our Attorney General, before you sit, just next to you we have the launch pad. We also want to celebrate you in our 6th decade of independence, the first female Attorney General. Wow, we celebrate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. At kindly call upon the Registrar of Political Parties to please also join our chief guest. Let's also have our key speakers. Honorable Kipchumba, Senator Wakili, IEBC Chairperson Erastus, CPM Moses, Mulonzi Deputy Auditor General, please join our chief guest, Honorable Josephat Evans Misati, Ambassador Sebastian Groth. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Francis Rogers, Ronald Ojwang. So we are ready. Madam Beatrice guiding us through. All is well. So we'll have a countdown, and the Attorney General, Honorable Attorney General, will press a button right there, and then it will mark the launch of this remarkable, memorable strategic plan 2025-2028. Let's have the countdown. The countdown, please. Together, let's count 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome to a new era right there. It's the launch of the ORPP 2025-2028 Strategic Plan. Makofi tafadhali. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll now have copies of the strategic plan. Let's have copies of the strategic plan being given to our chief guest and her delegation so that we can take a photo next to the ceremonial launch area. Thank you so much. Asan makofi tafadhali, ladies and gentlemen. This is a moment to celebrate. Thank you so much. And of course we want to move, after this we move to the main podium for a photo session. This time we'll do the Kenyan way. I'd kindly request that you prepare yourselves once we get the stage ready. This is a celebration, ladies and gentlemen. We are celebrating, ladies and gentlemen. Makofi out for that. Naomba tuweze kusimama kidogo. You know, it's in Kenya, in Africa, we celebrate through dancing. Aya. Aya. Hey, mabega iko wapi? This is a Okay, thank you so much. Before you take your seats, please, we want to take a final photo. Honorable Attorney General, just before you leave, we want a final photo for the media. This is very important. IBC Chair, just before you take your seat, we want a final photo right there for the media. Thank you so much, members of the Fourth Estate. We celebrate you. Asante sana. Let's take that photo. Asante, tuko tayari. Members of the Fourth Estate, thank you so much. Asante sana. We also have another photo. Registrar, IEBC Chairperson, former Registrar as well. Naomba tafadhali tuweze kupiga picha kwa pamoja. For the rest of us, we may kindly take our seats in a moment. Thank you so much. Would kindly call upon, once again, this is a final photo. Honorable Attorney General, a final photo with you, together with the Registrar and all the partners. Honorable Registrar, Honorable Attorney General, my apologies. Honorable Attorney General, would kindly request your indulgence once again. Just a final one. Yes, please, with all the partners, one final photo. Yes, as well, with you as well. This is a final one. Let's also have the Registrar and the partners. And immediately after this, we'll have a gift of appreciation courtesy of the Registrar of Political Parties. These are the key partners. Elgia, karibu sana. And let's have also the gift of appreciation ready. Let's have the gift of appreciation ready. All right. Madam Beatrice, the gift of appreciation, please. We have a gift of appreciation for the Attorney General, please. Registrar of Political Parties, please have the honor of giving this gift of appreciation to the Attorney General. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd kindly request that we be upstanding for the national anthem and our final prayer. Let us be upstanding, please. Bishop Joseph Ngigi, I'd kindly request that you be on standby so that immediately after the national anthem you can usher us in prayer. Bishop Joseph Ngigi, National Council. And before the anthem, we have gifts being given to our key speakers. The national anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuweze dunia yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Bishop.
For this wonderful moment that you are given to us, we want to commit each and every participant before your hands as we start together with the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. On this historical day, they launch the strategic plan. We pray, dear Lord, that you are going to guide them, hold their hearts and shine your light upon them as they navigate through this new path as they have launched the strategic plan. Thank you for the great work which is ahead of them. And we pray that you are going to be with them and guide them in every area of their duties, dear Lord. Thank you for all other stakeholders. Thank you for our chief guest. We pray that you are going to bless each and every one as we join hands and build this beautiful country, Kenya, that you give to us, God, that we can rejoice and live in it in peace and harmony. As we break, we pray for your journey mercies back to our praises and other engagements. In Jesus' name we pray.
At her pleasure,